tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Dropping knowledge in the studio, you already know.
Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. This your boy Prince Hakeem.
And this your man, Ronnie Ron. Hey, Hakeem, man. Man, you on the road this week, man. You calling me back to back. Hey, yo, we got another show. I'm like, we got another show.
Right. Hey, but listen here. This shit wouldn't have happened if you wasn't keeping me in check. Because I am the sleeping giant.
Yeah, you are the sleeping giant. Like, it's hard to wake you up. Like, you be like sleeping. I'm like, bro, yeah. I call you. Now you calling me. Which is very impressive. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud.
I appreciate that shit. Steel sharpening steel.
So you become like a two-edged sword. Now you're a two-edged sword now. Oh man,
that's how we do it.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I know, man. You was calling me on, telling me you had something hot to talk about. So I was like, yo, what's going on this time? What's happening?
I do. You want to know something? I thought about this from the last episode we did with our lovely co-host, Erica Perry, and it really dawned to me about emotional intelligence. And this is the proper term, what white folks might call it. But in our words, learning how to control your emotions. And I wanted to expound on that. And I wanted to get your opinion too, for a lot of people all over the world who's listening to this, who might can get some teachings from this, and maybe they can use this on their everyday life. Your emotional intelligence, the way you feel, and you know what I mean, the way you respond, the way you react to things can ultimately decide what the next situation might end up to. Potentially losing your job, potentially losing someone you love, potentially being outcast from a community. So we need to learn how to control that and understanding, and you know what I mean, to be self-aware about stuff like that.
True. Now, so, but my thing is, I was just going to ask you, are you just saying it in a general sense, or you just, which mean man and female, or just man only?
No, I mean in man and female. I mean in man and female. And there's a lot of reason why a lot of people don't have emotional intelligence. You know what I mean? And we talked about this all the time, but it come to dawn on me. Just imagine, meet a woman who grew up with her mother and father, and who learned how to respect a man. If a man was to say something disrespectful, do you think she'll quickly raise her hand and try to fight him? No, she's going to say, hey, let me get on the phone and call police and keep calm. But if this is a woman who was raised in the hood or something, and mind you, people in general, I'm not like generalizing. This is just, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. You have most women who are very, very emotional, who don't know how to control their emotion. They're quick to call you a B, an H, an F boy, and they'll quickly put their hands on you, not understanding their emotional intelligence. It's just the same way where you got a lot of girls who get up and start twerking all over the place, not knowing that makes you look bad.
Yes. Yes, it does.
You see what I'm saying? So,
right. I do get the understanding. Yes.
You get to understand that. That's what I mean by emotional intelligence. It's the same way where if somebody beefing or two dudes is fighting, one dude is going to run to go get a gun to go kill somebody. At that time, he's not thinking. He's just going off of pure emotions. So if you're going off of pure emotions, you need to know how to be self-aware of it, how to control yourself.
So you do, but do you feel like having these type of emotions is kind of some form of evil?
You want to know something? Evil is a very strong word to say that. I say that I think we all have some form of emotion. It's just the way on how we handle ourselves. Listen, I have emotional intelligence. You know how many times I wanted to shoot people's houses up?
Yeah. Especially for me, knowing you all these years.
Yeah, knowing me. You know how many times people done tried me, and I had to quickly think and, you know what I mean, categorize the situation and say, hey, if I do this, I might lose my life. I'm outnumbered or police is around. So I was aware of that. And you want to know the sad thing about that is what I did was when the person seen that I was so calm and I just left it alone, me and that person ended up to squash that what we ever had later on in life. You know what I mean? When they seen me, it was like, yo, bro, my bad about that the other day. You feel what I'm saying?
But you know, men tend to handle things differently than women, though.
That is true.
We feel different. That's why I don't understand why man and female keep saying we all equal. We're not, because women are naturally emotional, which everybody could clearly understand that. It's just part of a woman's nature, to be emotional. But I think it's more for a man to have a lot of emotional intelligence, because if a man is stable in who he is, he's able to somewhat balance the woman out. If you get what I'm saying.
100%. You're 100%
because
right.
because him. So if a man, that's why I always tell women every time I talk to them, we have conversation. And even when Erica Perry was on the show and we was talking about, I was telling her, if a man is unstable, chances are the relationship is going to be unstable, because the man is what dictates and what's governing the relationship. Now, the problem is now, I think even you, Hakeem, you can also attest to this. Most of the father figure is not at home, so this causing men to be raised by women, and women are emotional, so men tend to have a lot of their mamas, quote unquote, shout out to Jesse Peterson, mama's feelings within inside of them, which they got to learn how to kill. I don't know you agree with that statement.
I
I don't
agree
know.
with you 100%. What he said was right on hand. You have a lot of men who are emotional these days, guys who came up the baby mama era, who was raised and who are quick to think who are quick to react instead of quick to think, and people not understanding that you got to be self-aware of what's going on and to be self-regulated. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be able to self-regulate yourself, and that all comes to being in a social structure that teaches you social skills. To be honest with you, I'm gonna say something. A lot of people might not like this, but Black people are one of the most dysfunctional people in America.
Also, you actually agree with that? I was telling somebody too. But he was like, "Oh, when you talking bad about Black people?" I say, "No, like we very dysfunctional.
Listen
like
here,
it's crazy. It's like, but this number happened in the '60s though. In the 1900s and the '60s, Black people were like very calm, very collective, even during the Jim Crow laws.
Yeah, definitely. Up until 1960, like Kevin always says, we have more marriages. Jim Crow law, even at that time being oppressed, we was more dignified than where we are right now. So freedom, a lot of freedom has led us to be niggers with an R.
Wow.
You know what I'm trying to say?
That's a tough word.
Yeah. I gotta say it though, but it's you know what I mean, somebody has to say it. And we're not saying that we're the only race. Other race goes through their issues too, but us is very heavy. So that's why that's why with the concept of lack of emotional intelligence, there's a lot of layers behind that to understand that, hey, Black men, Black men who wasn't raised around men don't have conflict resolution skills. It's a fact. We've seen this happen plenty of times before. Same thing with women. Same thing. Women emotional intelligence. Whew, I'm about to run. I don't even want to say it.
Yeah, no, but go. You already know, with me and you together, you already know. We don't have a guest
I gotta
today,
do it. I gotta
so we can go in. Okay. Exactly.
Listen, a lot of you women emotional intelligence, which y'all lack, led y'all to become baby mamas. A lot of it, choosing the wrong man, but you're going based off emotion and not logic. You know what I mean? If you had emotional intelligence, you'll be self-aware, knowing that this man is going to make you a baby mama and leave you with a hefty bill.
Because remember, I would say the problem is they don't have that balance. That's why they think, like you said, they're thinking out of emotion, and it's making their whole life be very destructive. And of course, the baby mama situation. And, at the end of the day, women still won't hold accountability to that. You know that, right?
They won't. Women have no accountability, and the problem is, since the world is so civilized,
right?
And since we civilized the whole world, we haven't held women accountable for anything. You know what I mean? Thanks to feminism and a lot of this other stuff, where women feel like whatever they do, there's no moral compass behind it, and we can't listen. Me and you can't even check a woman in public.
Yeah.
We'll get cussed
with this new movement, you can't do that. And sometimes because some people are like, oh, you're not gonna scream at me. We're not gonna scream at you. Mm-hmm. We want to talk to you calm, cool, and collective. However, we still can't do that in public.
No. So that's why I say I've always put in this perspective, like, hey, we need to have a class to start to teach women and men who lack emotional intelligence to gain that. You know what I mean? We need to have a test to see what is your EQ, not your IQ, because IQ is very subjective. You know what I mean? EQ is more important because let me tell you something. If you're an easygoing person and you know how to handle situations, a lot of people want to be around you. And that's
true.
And that's a lot of things women don't understand. Women, when you're feminine, you're nice, you're sweet, you're pretty, and you're easygoing. Men want to be around women like that. That's emotional intelligence. Knowing how to maneuver yourself around men, knowing how to respond to a man in a respectful manner and not in a manner that you think you're better than them or you're looking down on them. Men will do whatever you want them to do. But a lot of women lack discernment. They lack respect. You know what I mean? They're egotistical. They're arrogant. You feel what I'm trying to say? You got babbit ass chicks at Walmart who think they're doing better than most men.
Yeah. Yeah. But I want to say because when it comes to like the race, like a lot of people I just examine different races, from the whites, the blacks, the Chinese, the Asian. It seems like the blacks are the only one that's like they don't want to do better or want to better themselves, but like they follow the whatever's the in crowd. You get what I'm saying? Like for example, Hakeem, during this pandemic, you saw during this pandemic last year.
Yep.
When George Floyd got murdered, and you saw that people was burning down their own building, their own community down, and it's like, bro, that's the only store you go to. At the end of the day, you're gonna burn it down. Like we do. It seems like black people tend to do things backwards when they're in that emotional state.
And emotional intelligence. They didn't know how to handle that situation. So there was unaware. So they go and burn down a Walmart, a Target. They're stealing where people go get their medicine from.
Exactly.
Which
makes no sense.
No sense. Yeah, which was appalling. In within that sense. So
but Hakeem, they might use it as an argument. What about the riot in Capitol Hill? You notice they didn't burn down the property in Washington D.C.
No.
They went and go tear down Capitol Hill.
Listen, not a brick was thrown.
You see that? Not a brick, but they broke down Capitol Hill. You see,
they did broke down
how
Capitol
they do things totally different.
Yeah, they did broke down Capitol Hill. And listen, in a few people who got shot, they had put some of the guards in danger. That's why them people got shot. But mind you, even the death toll was low.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That was you can see the difference. That was like, wow. It was like, wow. And then people like, no, because black people didn't build nothing, so that's why they don't care if they turn it up. I'm like, that's the only job you have is in that community, and you turn it down because blacks don't really have jobs. Some of us tend to not want to create jobs anymore. So it's like, you get what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. You going in that left. You going in that left. They're gonna start talking.
You know what I'm saying? But this is a conversation we need to have because. Half of the reason why they're not creating these businesses, is because they're emotional intelligent. They too emotional that I can't do
100%. Listen, a lot of them think that the government supposed to give them everything.
There you go.
It's that emotional. It gets real emotional. Listen, me and our parents come from a third world country, so we came here with nothing. You feel me?
Right.
So, what our parents tell us, hey, if you want to eat, you got to go out there and work.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I don't get mad about that. I didn't get mad or I didn't feel depressed about not having sneakers, going to school, kids picking on me for not dressing the way they dressing. Oh, your mother doesn't love you. My emotional intelligence told me, hey, there's a bigger picture here. You know what I mean?
Facts.
I need to be calm, breathe in, being aware. Knowing these people are not like me, understanding where I'm going in life, and keep it steady moving. And that's really what we just want to teach a lot of y'all people. Understand your emotions. You know what I mean? Because your emotions is just as smart as your intelligence, meaning your IQ. You feel what I'm trying to say? Your emotions.
And it's funny because people think Hakeem, we only talking about in the business sense. But they don't understand that emotional intelligence also relate also in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your emotion is out of whack, you already said what the number one thing Hakeem women always say. You so emotional.
Yes.
Damn, like I'm dating. They be like, damn, like I'm dating another woman.
100%.
I don't know if you ever had that talk before. I've
had that talk plenty of time. And let me tell you something. You want to know the reason why there's certain relationships that are longer than others? Because it's one person who has better emotionally intelligent than the other person.
Right, which is true.
It's usually is the man in a sense. You know what I mean? Because
usually
his wife will go off. He knows when to shut up and say, "Hey, it's all good. I'm not sweating it," and keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I mean? He knows how to diffuse the situation. He knows what needs to be done, what not needs to be done. You know what I mean? Because usually women tend to leave relationships more because they're going based off emotion. Oh, I'm not going to be with him no more. He just tried me.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Not sitting and working out with you. Hey, why are you going off on her for? She was like, hey, we just need to cut this off.
Right. But it's kind of funny, Hakeem, but you seem like gender now reversed because now the man became like the woman and the woman became like the man because now men are going off on the woman and the women are the one like to say, go calm down, go sit somewhere. I literally see this to this day. I literally see it.
Oh, no, same here.
Man is going in. You see it on Twitter, you see it on Facebook, and you see it on Instagram. Men are going in. You no good, you trash, and this and that. And the woman like calm and collected. They're like, okay, man are hanging up the phone. Normally the woman hang up the phone.
Yeah, basically. And this is why I say it's kind of pitiful. And this is why over here in this end, we only want men who understands their emotional intelligence. We want men who's trying to be the best version of themselves. We want men who wants to create jobs, create homes, create businesses.
Yes.
Who's not going to let no woman try them. Who understands a woman follows you. You don't not follow no woman.
Preach.
And I'm going to repeat that again. You feel what I'm trying to say? And this is why we do this. We want to make better men so you can make better men. Yeah, a lot of you dudes who listen to us got little boys around. If a man is not dominant in this house, he does not have no house. Teach him how to control his emotion.
Bro, you look like you're about to start a seminar right now, man.
Yeah. Because let me tell you something. We're going to bring black families back, and it's going to start with that little boy.
Yes. Yes. And a lot of men tend to not understand that. That's why I say, even me, I had to get my emotion in check. Because I ain't gonna lie, there's sometimes like, I be like, oh, man. Like, you be like, I want to give up and this and that. And I'm always going back to myself, like, Ronnie, you are a man. You got to know how to handle things. You know how to handle things correctly. You got to know how to talk to people. You can't always, like, going crazy and spit out and you curse people out. No, you got to know how to talk to people. And there's a right way to doing things. Some people are like, no, it doesn't matter what way you do it. You do it this way, that way. No, there's always a right way of doing things.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you 100%.
And the number one issue we have, especially today, and I'm going to tell people this too as well. Sometimes you got to really pay attention to your eating habit as well, because a lot of sodium create a lot of emotion that you don't need, unnecessary emotion. You get what I'm saying? A lot of food are being tampered with, which also create unnecessary emotion. That's why a lot of men tend to have a lot of emotion they're not really unfamiliar with, is because certain stuff you're eating is affecting your emotion.
Oh, yeah, and affecting the way your mood swings and stuff like that.
Yes, correct.
So you have to, the thing is, you just got to be self-aware of who you are as a person.
That's true too.
Yeah. And know that, you know what I mean, you might need to take anger management class. You might need to take an emotional intelligence class.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was gonna tell you, according to this report in America Psychological Association, they are you guys should go read upon it.org. They're also saying that right now a man's emotional state has increased over the past 5 years. So now man emotional state has increased over the five years. 9% of men is now committing suicide.
Yep, that's true.
That's very high for especially men. And that's not only just black men, that's men in general. They are really committing suicide and having suicidal thoughts, which is very uncommon with men, because normally women tend to have a lot of suicidal thoughts. Yep. Now it's becoming very common for men to have suicidal thoughts. So that's something men should also pay attention to. Like, your emotion could call you to kill yourself.
Man, you and that's what it is. And just to give out this point, you know what I mean? I guess this is gonna be my last point so people can understand. Women and men, you have to think about your feelings first before you speak. Am I wrong,
Right.
Mustang?
No, you're right. You're
You
right.
know what I mean? So to be self-aware of how you're gonna go about situations. Sometimes you're gonna have to take a pause before you even make a decision. Because sometimes a lot of you dudes react and women react, and sometimes ends in a worse situation than the beginning. You need to strive to control your thoughts. And this one thing about a lot of you women who feel that, oh, I got to speak my mind, or I got to speak my mind, and you just want to be heard. What you can say can damage relationships 110 times. You feel me? Because not a lot of times men want to hear certain things. You feel me? And at the time, if a man is going through something or a woman is going through something, you need to control the way you need to control your thoughts. Sometimes we just don't want to hear it. And what's that favorite line? You say most of the time, Ronnie?
Which one? I have so many now. I say most of the time.
People, sometimes a woman and a man need to shut up.
Oh yeah, be quiet.
Be quiet. My next point. A lot of us can benefit from criticism.
Yes.
Don't be mad when somebody say, hey, you this, you that, you this, you that. A lot of us are very emotional, very sensitive. We don't know how to handle when a person tell us what we're doing wrong, what we seeing is wrong. You feel what I'm trying to say? And if you don't do that, it's like, oh man, this man tried me. No, somebody's trying to help you, but it's the way you deliver it too, not delivering harshly. Another point is show authenticity. You know what I mean? Being real. Don't be fake. Don't switch up. Show us who you are. You know what I'm saying? When things happen, you don't be scared to cry in front of somebody. Don't be scared to be honest and say, shit, bro, I'm broke. I'm hungry. I couldn't sleep. Yo, we need to see those things. That's being authentic. Another point is showing empathy, demonstrating empathy. If somebody's hurt, somebody's going through something, and you gotta show empathy. And just to give you a little backstory, you know what I mean? Not too long ago, me and my co-host here, we lost people who we love so much, and we showed each other empathy. He had my back the whole way. I had his back the whole way. We couldn't ask for nothing. That's emotional intelligence. That let us know we're not savages. You feel me? Another point is you have to praise others. I praise my homeboy every other day.
Yes, that's a fact.
He praised me too. He said, you're going to be a rich man. I say, King, I'm not going to be rich until you get me there.
Yeah, facts.
You feel what I'm trying to say? Emotional intelligence. Helpful feedback. Learning to say, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You got to forgive and forget. Depending on how bad the situation is. And the most important thing is keeping your commitments, helping others, you know what I mean, protecting yourself from emotional sabotage. That means dealing with toxic women, toxic men who drive your emotions or make you feel like you're going to go back to where you used to be. And you have to be careful about that. So basically, just be self-aware of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And,
my final thought only come with 3 points because your point be always deep. It's just outshine mine all the time. I'll be like, wow. I'm not even trying to compete. I'll be like, man, let's just end the show right now.
Yeah.
You feel me? But my 3 points is two of the biggest 3 points that I choose to use for even for my own life is the number one thing is to pray. Pray sometimes it could be not only this thing of religious way, prayer can also be in the form of affirmation. Talking to the universe and also talking to yourself, because like Hakeem said, which is very much true, when you have awareness of who you are, your life tends to be in order. When you don't know who you are, your life tends to be disorder. So all those things plays a big part. So my number one thing is to pray, do affirmation, and let certain things go. Number 2, me and you, Hakeem, pretty much got the same point. Yep. Therapy also helps.
Therapy.
I used to be very emotional.
I didn't even say therapy, but that should honestly that should be at top of the list. Prayer and therapy should be 1 and 2. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because therapy does play a part. Because people think now therapy can mean you can also go to a friend and talk about your issues, family members, or actually talk to a therapist as well. Because therapy is not bad. Because therapy helped me through a lot through my emotional wreck. When I lost 2 of my loved ones in my life, and Hakeem the same way.
Yep.
So it's like, therapy does help talking to somebody, because especially men, we tend to hold our emotion in a lot.
Basically.
And women say that a lot too. So then one day we just immediately blow up. So our way of living, especially as a man, is normally we talk to other men, or we go and talk to somebody, or we even pray to a higher power, or even to ourselves to give us that ease, that peace of mind.
Basically.
And not only that, number 3 is I'm with you. Is to learn how to let things go. Sometimes it's unnecessary how we hold on to things too long. And not only that, especially us as humans, we tend to play back over and over because we try to say, "Oh, I'm gonna change things. I can do this and do that." When you tend to play back, it's creating unnecessary emotion that you don't even need at the moment.
Facts.
So focus on the present moment now. The past you cannot undo. You cannot change. However, you can change it now by focusing on something positive, something that you can create right now at this moment. So, and that note, Hakeem, you already know how that go. KI Culture Radio,
we out.
Peace.
Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.